Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Marianne Burroughs, Performance of a Lifetime. Performance of a Lifetime, Marianne Burroughs.
When a new mama holds her baby for the very first time, she always counts 10 fingers, 10 toes. My baby is perfect. That's not always the way. I remember being in grade school, and all the way down a long corridor and around the corner was a classroom for kids with special needs and handicaps. And what is a handicap? A handicap is a restriction or limitation to success. One day after school, I was walking home with my friend Donna. It was pouring down rain. Her mom stopped and picked us up. Donna hopped in the front, and I jumped in the back. It happened to be report card day. Donna whipped out her report card and started to count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 A's, Mom. Grandpa said he was going to give me $5 for every A I got. I sat quietly in the back thinking, wow, I'm not that great in math, but $5 for every A, that's a lot of money, especially for a young girl way back then. And that was the day I realized I had a handicap. You see, I studied hard. I went to school every day. I paid attention. I did my homework. But I wasn't as good as Donna. One day, the teacher came in and said, "We are going to read out loud." I thought, read out loud? I can barely speak out loud. I was horrified. So as the children read their paragraphs in a circle, instead of listening to the paragraphs as they read, I counted ahead to find out which paragraph would be mine. And I read and reread it silently in my mind in hopes that I could recite it perfectly when it came to my turn. But it didn't work. I was so anxious and nervous, I made a fool of myself in front of the whole class. Another check next to my name. And that list continued to grow. And as I look out at this audience, I see what look like very normal people. 10 fingers, 10 toes. But my guess is each and every one of you have a couple handicaps next to your name. Years later, I was teaching ice skating when a Special Olympic program came to our rink. I thought about it for a while and decided that I would help out with the program, give back to the community some of the skills that I already had. I'll have to admit I was a little anxious and not real certain how to do this because I'd never worked with special needs kids before. But as I began to work with them one-on-one, I realized they really weren't that different. Yes, they might have looked a little bit different, and it might have taken them a little bit longer to achieve a skill. But when I just worked on them, the next student was just the next smiley face in front of me. Now, the athletes worked hard all year long, honing their skills and improving week after week, month after month. And at the end of the year, we would take them to the Special Olympic competition at Kent State University. Oh, this was a big deal. They got to go to dances and dinners and practice, and then finally to the competition. I had worked with a young girl named Ellen. Ellen was only about this tall, curly red hair, and Down syndrome. And as it turns out, Ellen was actually one of the students that was in that classroom down the corridor and around the corner when I was growing up. Ellen was going to be our very first figure skater. I remember the day so clearly as she stood by the edge of the rink dressed in her elegant skating dress, waiting patiently for her name to be announced. And when it was, she skated confidently into the center of the rink and posed for her beginning stance. And when the music began, she began to whirl and twirl and swirl across the rink. She skated a performance of a lifetime. Ellen earned the gold award that day. Oh, I was so proud of her. But moments before Ellen stepped on the ice, she and her fellow athletes recited the Special Olympic motto, "Let me win, and if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt." I think these are words that we could all learn from, because you see, only one person can earn the gold. But does that discount all the value and practice and improvement all the rest of the skaters made all year long? I don't think so. And it finally occurred to me that when you grade on a scale, only very few people can get an A. The rest of the students get other letters of the alphabet. Oh, and that young girl, the one that was terrified to speak or read, I've now given hundreds of speeches. Go figure. So today, I invite you, no, I encourage you to sit with your handicap's wounds and scars and question, am I going to be defined by these? Or am I going to stand up and walk into the arena of my life and live as though every moment is a performance of a lifetime? Madam Contest, Chair.
Thank you,